Whoops, here we go. Well, my voice does carry, but yes. Today we are welcoming Mrs. Wright from Wilson Elementary School, and and Mrs. Wright has with her today Jorge Rodriguez, who is in fourth grade, Haziel Rodriguez, who's in first grade, and Jacob Davila Rodriguez, who is in P4J. Welcome to all of you. And Mrs. Wright has worked at Wilson Elementary School for over 15 years. Her journey in education began as a school counselor with a Master of School Counseling from Penn State University. She later earned a Master of Educational Leadership and transitioned into her current role as principal at Wilson Elementary School. Ashley Wright has a deep understanding of what it takes to support students and create a thriving school community. Welcome, Wilson Elementary School students and principal.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you much. Very cute. Thank you.
Let's move on to a motion to adopt September 9th, 2025 Board of Education agenda.
Second, oh,
Motion and second. We're going to try to electronically vote tonight?
I don't, Mr. Dummerhausen's
Okay.
not able to log in.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously 9-0. Safety message.
Thank you. Tonight, we just want to talk about locking up your medications to protect your family and community. Unsecured medications, both prescriptions and over-the-counter, can pose serious risks to young children, curious teens, and even adults who may misuse them. Many instances of prescription drug misuse and accidental poisoning start with medications found in a friend or relative's home. So some simple steps to take to safe medication storage, include securing all medications, vitamins, and supplements as well. Keep them out of reach and out of sight of children. Don't rely on child-resistant caps alone. While they're helpful, they are not child-proof. Put them away every time. After every use, immediately return your medication to a storage location. Never leave pills or medicine out on a counter or a table. Talk to your guests. If you have guests, remind them to keep purses, bags, or coats containing medicine in a secure place away from children. And lastly, safely dispose of old medications. Expired or unused medicines should be disposed of properly. Do not flush them down the toilet. Instead, use a community drug take-back program or special disposal pouches available at many pharmacies.
Thank you very much, Julie. Let's move on to student presenters from Parker High School. Peyton Gutzman. Hi, Peyton.
Hi, good morning, or good afternoon.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. So, good evening, everyone. My name's Peyton Gutzman, and I'm honored to serve as your student presenter from Parker High School this year. I'm currently a senior at Parker, where I've had the privilege of serving as Women Empowerment Club president and one of our Avid Tutor commissioners for the past couple of years. I've also been a proud member of Parker Varsity Cheer and Competition Cheer for 4 years, a Science Club, Link Crew, PTSA, and Yearbook member for 2 years, and Avid for 3 years. So if you ever find yourself at a Parker event, you'll probably see me there if I'm cheering on the sidelines or taking photos from the student section. All of these opportunities have allowed me to develop as a student and a leader while contributing to the Parker community in meaningful ways. Looking ahead, I plan to continue my education at a 4-year university with the goal of pursuing a career in marketing and social media advertising. On this month's agenda, I want to highlight our AVID program. For those of you who are not familiar, AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. AVID is a college and career readiness course that helps students build strong study habits, organization skills, and leadership qualities. Our AVID program started at Parker in the year 2022, which started with my freshman class. The program has only adapted and grown since then. We started the program with just about over 20 students, 6 trained teachers, and 5 tutors. We currently hold 160 students, 35 teachers and administrators, and 37 trained tutors. This year, our AVID site team has 3 exciting school-wide goals. Our first goal is to have 80% of all classes using the AVID Focus note-taking process. This is more than just taking notes. It's a powerful tool to help us interact with our notes and truly remember what we're learning. It's a great way to make sure our hard work is actually being seen and really sticks with us. Our second goal is to increase the number of 11th and 12th grade students taking rigorous courses, like transcripted credits, advanced placement, and Project Lead the Way. We want to take that from 55% to 60%. And finally, we're committed to sharing the benefits with AVID to all of our educators. We're working on increasing our AVID trained staff to 35 to 46 staff members being trained. This will help us spread Wicker-based teaching strategies throughout the school so more students can benefit from the AVID approach in all of their classes. The AVID program was not made for top students. It wasn't made for students who get straight A's, but it also wasn't made for students who might need a little extra help. The AVID program was made for students who stand right in the middle. The ones who do enough to pass, but not enough to stand out. Personally, AVID has helped me in more ways than I can actually say. AVID has taught me to be able to take more effective notes. I've learned how to correctly organize and understand how to study. And AVID has pushed me to start taking more rigorous courses, including 3 AP classes this year. But not only am I just taking those AP classes, I'm fully succeeding in them. But beyond academics, AVID has helped me push myself as not only a student, but also a person. I'm now the student who can ask for help when needed. I take on challenges, and I'm encouraged to think about long-term goals other than just short-term ones. I am reminded of determination and resilience really do make a difference. The confidence to come up here and volunteer to speak today is because of AVID. Thanks to AVID, I've built a strong connection with teachers, classmates, and I've learned the importance of supporting those who are around me. I also want to take a moment to recognize Ms. Korth, who was our very first AVID elective teacher at Parker High School, who is now serving as our AVID site coordinator. Her dedication and belief to her students, especially her AVID ones, have made a lasting impact to me and so many others. I can't thank you all enough for bringing AVID to the school district, and I appreciate everyone for listening to me tonight. I cannot wait to be back next month. The best of Parker is yet to come. See you guys next month.
Hey, Peyton. Actually, it's good timing, beginning of the year. For student presenters, Commissioner Ardrey reminded me that the school board allows student presenters to give input and feedback to us during board meetings. So if you're sitting back there and you want to give some input, you just kind of get our attention, and you get to do that.
Okay,
Not just you, but all student presenters, okay? Well, thank you very much.
perfect.
Nice job.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate
You
it.
bet. Oh, look at this.
I am not the student presenter to the board. It's been a long time for that to be true. Good evening, Board Commissioners and Superintendent Holzman. I am Allison Bion, the proud principal of Craig High School. And tonight I'm excited to have the opportunity to stand in for our school's student representative to the board. Caitlin Kessler, whose beautiful picture is up on the screen there, has an excused absence tonight. Caitlin is pursuing her academic and career plan by taking a CNA course out at Blackhawk Technical College in the evenings. For 6 weeks, she'll do classwork and practice lab skills. After that, she's going to spend 2 weeks in clinicals at Oak Park Place. And her hope is to take and pass the state exam and be employed as a CNA by the winter, all while still a senior in high school. This plan fits perfectly with Caitlin's long-term goal of becoming a nurse anesthetist after studying nursing at Edgewood College or UW-Madison. Working in the medical field and helping others has been a long-time aspiration for her. She shared with me that she was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic at the age of 7.
Caitlin has definitely made the most of the opportunities available to her in the School District of Janesville. She has maintained a 4.0 GPA, is in the top 5% of her class, and has challenged herself with many honors and advanced placement classes. Her favorites, anatomy and physiology, genetics, and biology. All good for someone who wants to be a nurse, of course. She's been very involved in co-curricular offerings, in addition to serving this year as the representative to the board through Student Council. Caitlin has participated in Blue Ribbon of Promise, Optimist Club, Key Club, Interact, National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, and played soccer for the past 3 years. On top of all of that, she has somehow also found time to volunteer, spending time working in a medical setting to support new mothers with infant care. She did want me to share that she loves country music, and she had an amazing trip to Spain with her family. That's where that picture was taken. I can't wait for you to meet her in person as soon as she has completed her CNA coursework. She's definitely a kid who's made the most of her time in high school, and she has engaged in a wide range of opportunities that we make available to our students to get them ready for their unique career pathways. So thank you for letting me introduce her this evening. She'll be here as soon as she can. Yep.
Next, citizen comments. So far, I have 3. First individual we have here is Laura Madison. Hello, Laura. If you just name, address, and as you know, you get about 3 minutes. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Laura Madison. I live at 2206 Kellogg Ave on the south side of Janesville. Superintendent, Board Commissioners, thank you for giving us time to speak tonight. I was, as usual, looking over the board agenda, and I noticed that in tonight's board agenda, you would have a closed session prior to this, and that one of the topics discussed would be negotiations with the Janesville Education Association, including consideration of the options related to negotiations for the 2025-26 school years. The JEA, as most people know, has been meeting with the negotiations team in good faith, and we've had some very good and productive discussions. Probably the best that we've had since I've become president. I genuinely hope that during tonight's closed meeting that continuing negotiations was discussed. I'd like to highlight the following 4 items. Teacher and me, 4. We got 4. 1, I am aware that the board would offer more money if the district has the financial capacity to do so. Okay, I think that's fabulous. 2, I also know that the district's going to receive over $1 million in reimbursement for special education. And 3, looking at the district's finances and fund balances, I see that the district rolled over $1 million into the fund balance at the end of the 23-24 school year, and the fund balance is now almost at 19%. And this is me looking at my salary and my take-home pay. I have been with the district for 13 years. The district's method for adjusting salary for CPI is not keeping up with inflation. When I think about these facts and past board decisions and school district actions, it seems to me that in general, the district is not prioritizing the staff that work with students day in and day out. The district's priorities, such as paying off a loan early, having staff pay more out of pocket for insurance, is the way of budgeting the district's money by putting the onus or the burden on the backs of its staff. I would earn a higher salary at any other school district because of how the SDJ adjusts staff salaries. That is what being a dedicated Janesville educator has done for me. It's left me behind financially. These priorities are not going to recruit and retain staff. Please continue negotiations with the JEA. Thank you.
Next, Mr. David Jansen. Is that right? Jansen or Jensen?
Jansen.
Thank you.
Sorry, I second that, and I'll pass.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. And the last one I have here is Karen Beish. Beege? Beege. Sorry, Karen. If you'd have played a little music, I could have got the Beege.
Staying alive. Good evening, my name is Karen Beege, and I live at 611 Sunset Drive. The School District of Janesville has a clear mission to partner with families in our community to inspire and empower all students to reach their highest potential. This mission isn't just words on paper, it's a daily commitment carried out by our dedicated educators who transform lives through education. The Janesville School District has built something extraordinary, big school resources with a small school atmosphere. Our educators don't just teach, they cultivate critical thinking, curiosity, empathy, and resilience in every student who walks through their doors. The Janesville difference isn't created by buildings or programs alone, it's created by people. Our 1,500 staff members are the heart of our educational excellence, working tirelessly to bridge learning gaps and create model learning environments where every student can thrive. Since June 11th, the Janesville Education Association has engaged in good faith negotiations, meeting 4 times with the Board of Education, while we've proposed a reasonable cost of living increase to help our educators keep pace with rising expenses. The district has only offered step movement, essentially maintaining the status quo, while our educators face increasing financial pressures. Our core values include collaboration and empathy, yet we're asking our staff to do more with less. When we fail to provide cost of living adjustments, we're essentially asking our educators to accept a pay cut in real terms. This impacts not just individual staff, but our entire educational mission. This is about designing a school district that we can be proud of and feel content that today we made the staff a priority and create a truly inspiring place to work, teach, and learn. Quality education requires quality educators who deserve compensation that reflects both their professional value and the economic realities they face. The board has indicated they may impose a settlement rather than continue collaborative negotiations. This approach contradicts our stated values of collaboration and partnership. Instead, we should embrace our commitment to operational excellence by finding creative solutions that support our most valuable resources, our people. The Board of Education has an opportunity tonight and in the future to demonstrate that they truly value all staff and the educators who make the Janesville difference possible. When the school board invests in their staff through fair compensation, they invest in our students' futures. When the Board of Education supports their educators' financial stability, you strengthen our entire educational community. Only the dedicated Board of Education can resolve this challenge. I encourage you to use your creativity, your commitment to excellence, and your collaborative spirit to ensure that those who dedicate their lives to inspiring and empowering all students receive the support and recognition they deserve. Our educators show up every day to unlock every student's potential. It's time the Board of Education shows up for us with the same dedication and commitment all staff show our students. Thank you so much for your time, dedication, and commitment. Have a good evening.
Would anyone else like to address the board tonight? Nobody? Okay, we'll move on. Let's move on to 4.1, consider approval of the consent agenda. Need a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. We're gonna try? We're gonna electronically vote, give that a try. Okay, let's vote. What's that? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes unanimously 9-0. 5.1, presentation on Neola.
Okay, I just want to introduce our guest here that has been working with the School District of Janesville for a couple of years now, Mr. Scott Brown. So I know that some of the favorite work that our committees do is working through our policies. But I think it's important as we move forward is to learn a little bit about our history, what's happening with Neola, why do we have that, and what are our short and long-term goals as we move through policy and procedure here in the School District of Janesville. So I will turn it over to Scott, and he can kind of introduce himself and our program tonight.
Great, thank you so much. Do I need to push on anything here? No, I'm good? All right, I'm live. Thank you, thanks so much, Mark, I appreciate it. My name is Scott Brown. I am the retired superintendent of McFarland School District, just outside Madison. So after I retired, I worked actually with a lot of folks from Janesville over time. I was working with Edgewood College and taught school finance to a lot of your aspiring principals, and then even worked with some of your doctoral students, including the superintendent before Mark was one of my students. So very familiar with your district, and honestly the excellent reputation you have in Janesville and the good work you do. When I went to work for Neola, Janesville was one of the districts that was interested in learning more about Neola, so I presented to the school board as well as the board president as well as the superintendent at the time, and you all decided to move along with Neola. But part of the reason for this discussion is just it's really been a while. A lot of faces have changed over time. Just to let you know what you joined and what our hope is. So that's the main purpose of this time together, is just to give you a vision of where we're at and where you can go. So Neola, it's an odd name, right? Neola, it doesn't really, it's not a common term. It originally was Northeast Ohio Learning Associates. It was in essence a CISA in Ohio that started a policy service that then a superintendent from Ohio bought and continued to grow it throughout a number of states. So we've been around for 40 years when it was originally founded. We really are cooperative policy development. When I think about like what that means, today I was working on questions from Watertown, Wisconsin, about our Act 20 bill with literacy. And there were two really great questions. One was when the bill was originally formed, it seemed to say that a board would choose what these tests would be. But since then, that area's been assigned to the states. So the question the client had was, is this language you have in your policy correct? Another question was about whether it would go through 4th grade or through 3rd grade. So that input from Watertown will go to our attorneys, Renning, Lewis, and Lacey, the same law firm you use, and as part of our update for all of our districts, that feedback will end up being a part of a policy update. So that's really how Neola works. It's like you're teaming together, in particular in Wisconsin, with around 370 out of 421 districts in Wisconsin use Neola. So you are a part of that network, which saves you the individual financing of trying to do all your policies individually, as well as links you into a group of large and small districts. We serve Milwaukee, Madison, La Crosse. You're one of our larger districts. We're working with Racine right now. They're drafting in Neola. So you're really part of a much larger group, and that's really how it works in a way like a CISA. We're all combining our talents when it comes to this. We represent about 1,600 clients in 6 states to date. We've been in Wisconsin for 35 years. We have 12 offices. That generally means a retired superintendent has between 30 to 60 clients in the state and serves them. Our policies are written or approved by Renning, Lewis, and Lacey. Like me and McFarland, you, I think, often use Shayna Lewis as your attorney. So she actually lives in McFarland and was our attorney for years there. I'm not here to endorse attorneys, but if there's a better one in the state than Shayna, I'd like to meet them, because I think she does great work. So she's a part of our team. And then we have staff counsel. We use national attorneys on like our title bills and things like that that affect national things. So as far as like the setup of what Neola is, you have Neola. We use board docs like you to update our policies. So all the work we've done since we've been working with you has been on board docs, and then we use Renning, Lewis, and Lacey, to support that. 370 districts. We've increased by about 250 since 2013. I think a lot of that is just word of mouth. When I started with Neola, I had 13 districts, and until I took a job more recently in corporate Neola, now I just have a few districts, but I ended up having close to 60 districts for a while. So Neola's really grown. I was a former business manager in McFarland. It was literally $20,000 cost savings a year once we joined Neola. And once you get your policies drafted, the cost for all the updates for my personal visits with your administrative team or with your superintendent twice a year, and the updates that come out by Renning, Lewis, and Lacey, and the feedback we get from all our clients, it costs you about $3,500 a year, which for the most part will take care of all your policy needs. So board docs, just to have that platform, costs around $5,000 a year. But we were started by a school superintendent who, regardless of size, district wants to make Neola affordable for everyone. So I really feel we fulfill that. So hopefully, through Neola, you're going to save administrative and team time. You're going to come to the school board conference in Milwaukee and maybe walk by our booth and say, I feel really good that I know, like one of my primary responsibilities as a board member is to be a part of policy that guides the whole district. Hopefully it'll be like other school districts that come by and say, I just have a peace of mind knowing that part of my job as a school board member I'm really fulfilling. It's a very proactive and systematic process. Neola really handles things sort of from start to finish. So as you approve new policies, we save what you send in with the marked up policies. We create then active policies for you, and in the update process, we will take the updates that you approve, we'll retire your old policy, and we'll save whatever you turned in. So we have a really good history of what's happened in Janesville to date, and we will even more once we get to the point that we're just at the update phase of things. Just some sample districts in your area, so you know you aren't alone, but I think I've already made that pretty clear. So you from Neola get assured compliance. Neola will help in the legal defense of a policy that's challenged by the community or some other group. We are without prejudice. We don't consider ourselves a political organization at all. Sometimes we bring forward under one administration as president and then changes under another administration as president, in particular former President Biden and now President Trump. They often change quite a bit of things with Title IX and requirements. We are not here to give you what you want. We're really here to give you what we believe is the best legal advice that we can. And sometimes there's things that are just undecided that we can't advise on until there's some court case or something that makes that decision. You get the experience of other districts. We make available the policy manual online for everyone. We're very, I would say, again, systematic, proactive, and we combine the Neola policies, which is around 400, along with any policies that you've had maybe before Neola came along that fit your district. A lot of times that's facility rentals and things that are just unique to your district. And that's really close to where we are now. I'm not going to repeat that slide. You can read it. We also give you all student handbooks. We just give you a marked up copy of our model handbook so you can look at your handbooks to see whether you think it's something that you want to change and things like that. So, all right, let's get to where Janesville's at, because I think that's really the main reason that I'm here tonight, to talk about that. The way we drafted in Janesville was a bit unusual, but, I think that's fine. We have slowly been taking over your existing policy manual with Neola policies, and we call that policy manual a transition policy manual and administrative guideline manual. We're now at the point where, Gretchen and Mark, we're this close. We've reviewed what's missing. We've done pretty much all our policies. We reviewed what's missing that you had in your existing policy book, and we're working on bringing a list to you that would say, you want to keep these policies, we'll put them under the Neola numbering system, and then some of these policies are just really old and no one even knew they were there. And eventually we're going to create a list for you that will say, we want to add this to what will become the policy manual with Neola numbering, and these policies, many of which frankly are from the early 90s, just don't fit or haven't been reviewed, or at least we should let them sit and see whether there was something critical in there that we missed. So the board and administration has been awesome about reviewing policies. The next goal is to sort through these existing policies, which there's a really nice spreadsheet put together, and we're marking what we believe we should propose to you. Then we finally finish your official policy manual, which means we'll pull down the policy manual that's there of your old policies, and we'll rename the transition policy book your policy book. Then, because it's been a while, I'll just show you this slide. My presentation to you was in 2019. I just had the start of a bald spot then, just a little tiny one, but this is what you've done to me, Janesville. This is what happened. We started drafting, and the original plan for Janesville was I met with the board president, and we were just going to work with an administrative assistant to the board and the board president and do policy through that. But it just didn't work out well. The board president, had a lot of other things going on, in his life in particular, and we weren't able to really move forward. Then we went next to working directly with the superintendent, and we made quite a bit of progress. Then you all had superintendent turnover, and we frankly have made the most progress under your current superintendent, because we're really close. But in the meantime, if you look at that data 2019, and you go to when we want to have the update process complete, Neola has updated their policies twice a year, every year since 2019. So doing a little math, that's a lot of updates. Okay, that's like 14 updates, plus some special updates on Title IX and things like that. That's kind of the bad news. The good news is, wherever we've could along the way, as we've been in this long process, we've always brought you the most current policies. So it's not like everything has to be updated and your policies already are 7 years old. The majority of them, especially the important, like mission critical ones, have been updated along the way. One thing, just as a board, I wanted to say to you is, once we get to the update status, I'll help you get through it, obviously, but there'll be a lot of policies that are updated. Just the language has changed. The attorneys wanted to change something, Renning, Lewis, and Lacey, and I'll mark those with an NC, which means for the policy committee, whoever's looking at these, the attorneys are recommending this. It's your choice if you want to do it, but it's not like there's a choice to be made. Then there'll be policies that will have a choice, something that's new. Social media is an example of one. Some districts are their social media is only going to be a billboard. Nobody can make comments on it. And that was, due to some client experience of people that posted things that people could respond to and then had to figure out if every post was worthy of being turned down based on, on some disqualifying factor that's, somewhat murky in the law. So that's just an example of one. But I wanted to show you a couple of yours here. I don't know if can you click on that for me? Thank you, Gretchen. So hopefully we'll open up here. So I just, it's a really small print. I apologize for that. You maybe can make it a little bit bigger, Gretchen, with the 3 dots up on the right. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe just go, I think it can go as high as 125 and it will still unzoom down there. If you go too big, then we lose it. All right, so I think that's good enough. Thank you. So this is just an example of 2 of your policies right now. Both of them are in the food service area, and we actually work directly with DPI and food service. Like the person who sends all the auditors out, and you're audited in food service, I can't remember if it's every 3 or 5 years, but you're audited. We literally send them our policies and say, what do you want to change? So we can get it out proactively, so our clients, if they get an audit, aren't dealing with lots of questions. So this is just an example. That's your current food service policy. And then in May of 2024, if you want to click on that one, Gretchen, that's the second one at the top. There you go. These are the changes that we made. You can kind of slide up there if you want to see them. But these were ones recommended by food service, DPI in particular, from their audits. And the next one down is from May of 2025. So generally, we update these every May, and you can see more changes that literally came from DPI. They're going to come and audit your district, and if they don't see the most current policy, they know Neola well, they're just going to say, you got to get up to the latest Neola policy. Fortunately, that hasn't happened here. Likewise, down below is free reduced lunch. Same thing. They just had changes that this is your policy currently. There's another change coming where the non-discrimination group that we list in Chicago has been moved. So we have to change that in all our policies. But that's our job, to try to update them. What I need from the board is when we get to the point where we're trying to update, so generally an update has between 30 and 40 policies in it. Let's say, as a part of this whole process over the past 6 years, maybe I've gotten 50% of the really crucial ones in as you've been drafting all along. When we do get to the update process, I need a process that this board can embrace and get those updates through without a whole lot of delay. And I always tell boards, don't let great be the enemy of good. If there's something you object to, obviously that's your job as a board member. But the more we can move them through, and if you have questions, I can take those questions to the next update meeting with Rennie, Lewis, and Lacey and say, Janesville approved this, but they were wondering, is this really good language or good wording or things like that. But for me, the key for Janesville, which will be coming up pretty quick here, because we're really close to proposing which recurrent policies come over and which ones that we be deleting, really getting close to the update process. That's really what I need the help of the board and the superintendent. And obviously, when we bring update changes in a district like Janesville, they also go to the administrative staff who has to look them over and make sure they can give good recommendations to you as a board. So that's it. If you have any questions for me at all or anything.
Thank you very much. That was a great summary. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Anybody else got any comments or questions? Liz is talk to her about that.
So one of the things he mentioned was this big spreadsheet of which Gretchen and I are eagerly working through. And I think we finished the 4,000s. What we will do, and I've talked with President Murray about this, is that I will bring that spreadsheet in kind of a organized fashion for you, because there are probably 100 or so policies that we need to retire. And the reason we need to retire them is because either A, we don't do it anymore, or B, we have a Neola policy that describes what the old policy was. So an example would be we don't do it anymore. We currently have a policy about elections in our schools. Well, we don't have elections in our schools anymore, so we're going to get rid of that. There isn't anything that you'll see in there that is controversial or something. but I don't want to land 100 policies on you at a time. So over the next few board meetings, we'll put maybe 20 or so in the packet at a time so that you can review in advance and get an idea of what it looks like. Again, we've kind of vetted those. Denise started the process. It's not something that, it's just something that we haven't done for a period of time. We still gotta finish that. So rather than putting all of them in one, we'll spread it out over a period of time. If there's any of those that you wanna pull and pause, we'll pull and pause. But I just want you to know that that will be coming in the coming months. And then that will help us close it up so that we only have one board policy book, which is the way most districts run, is have one book. And then we're going to have to update, right, the past years. And so I've talked with Commissioner Murray a little bit about maybe there's another way we could think about how we expedite that, because we don't want all of our committee meetings to just be policy. And so I get that. So we'll talk a little bit in the future about how we might expedite that and not just have, 25 minutes every committee meeting for policy, which I know you're anxious to do, but we'll try to pause that. So I just want to let you know what's in the near future from Gretchen and my department.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. Yep.
Future meeting dates and times.
The Finance, Buildings, and Grounds Committee will be meeting twice next week. They'll be meeting on the 15th at 3 p.m. at Marshall Middle School, and on the 16th at 3 p.m. here at the Educational Services Center. I believe the 15th is a policy meeting. And then the next Board of Education meeting will be here at the Educational Services Center at 6 p.m. on September 23rd.
Yes.